for inviting me to this august place to discuss coal. I'll continue with his statement. Bangladesh is a growing economy, evolving economy. We have seen of late very less countries having 6.5% of GDP growth for last 6-7 years. It's not a matter of joke. This year it may cross 7.15 as well. Bangladesh collects almost 67% of their income tax when the vessel arrives at waters of Bangladesh. Bangladesh gets almost $13-14 billion of remittances from their expatriates. So Bangladesh is going to come up. In a small Canada, we won't be surprised. This is Bangladesh. I'll tell you briefly about ourselves. We are International Trading Division of Aditya Birla Group. We ship almost 20 million tons of coal. We shipped 20 million tons of coal last year. Mostly we supply to India, China, Vietnam, Middle East, Myanmar, Bangladesh, etc. These are the places where large deposits of coal exist. US 251 billion metric tons, but they don't use their coals mostly. Russia, the coal is really very soft, and local brickfield owners, they prefer hard coal, slightly hard, with better HGI of 35-40. So Russia is not a very good coal for this market. China, no. Brazil, again. South Africa, a lot of South African coal is coming to Bangladesh. Mostly 5300 NAR, 4800 NAR and 5100 NAR. Indonesia, a lot of coals have come. Indonesia is a major supplier of coal in Bangladesh. India, border trade, a lot of coal comes. This year they have some court cases, it has not been settled. And recent demonetization has also obstructed coal supplies to Bangladesh for some time. It was coming since Pujas, October, but till now there is no firm information about Indian coal. Australian coal, yes, Australian coal has arrived in Bangladesh. It's being discharged now. New Zealand, freight is really not workable. Bangladesh mainly buys coal for their brickfield and some ceramic industries as well. They have a market size of almost 4.5 million tons. Regarding coal, this is an evolving market. In the coal, they started importing coal in the year 2014, I suppose. In the year 2014, they started importing first. That year, the prices were high, the price trend were high like this year only, and a lot of coal came. Buyers had some preconceived notions because of their adaptability to Indian coal, which comes in big sizes. But international trade of coal, basically power industries are biggest consumer of international coal, and they buy only in 0 to 50 sizes, whereas because of Indian coal supplies, Bangladeshi buyers were looking for higher size of coals, which they got, but a lot of blended coal was supplied to them, and they had a better experience in sizes. Two, moisture was a concern. Coal is a combustive item, especially Indonesian coal. If we have coal buyers in this crowd, they must have experienced slight fire or smoke in their coal yard. Whenever wind is blowing and weather is dry, there are chances of catching fire in your coal yard stock. So please request you all to be careful about it. Third is, I'll say, Third point we'll discuss later on. International coal market this year, prices are really very high. Last year, the coal had arrived even at $50. The GAR was 5,500. The price was below $50 last year. The same coal is not available at all. Not available at all in this market this year. People are willing to pay prices, but they don't have coal. So when the prices went up, the GAR has come down. People are importing, buyers are importing 5,400 GAR, 5,100 GAR, 5,200 GAR, like that. Freight is also moving upwards since July. The main reason what we feel about this high prices was China used to mine almost 300 days in a year. This year they have reduced it by 15-16%, and they are mining only for 265 days. France had few nuclear plants and it had gone for maintenance, so they need coal to keep themselves warm. South Korea is also in the market. China and South Korea, they were not buying high sulfur coal, but this year they are buying high sulfur coal also. There is a mine in Indonesia which has 2.8% of sulfur. We thought it's our commodity and we'll trade as we want. But we were surprised when we heard that South Korea bought the whole cargo and they blended with some low sulfur coal, and they are managing very well. Because of China, South Korea, the prices are upwards. And it is not going to come down very soon. May have a correction in near future, but prices are not coming down for now. We have local challenges as well. I'll come to this point of ours. Since, Bangladesh is a very matured economy, I feel. It's an import-led economy, so buyers are really very, very familiar with the processes and all these things. One. Two, it's a small country. There are buyers who have plenty of money, who have the support of banks, and they invest wherever the opportunity is, like fertilizers, urea, non-urea phosphates. Almost same bunch of buyers have come in coal also. The kind of terms they were getting in urea and phosphates, they are expecting same kind of terms in coal also, which is slightly difficult. Maybe they'll evolve, get mature in due course, but at the moment it's an issue. I'll give you a small example. Moisture. Everybody want dry coal. But when we ship coal from a port, be it Richards Bay, South Africa, or Indonesia, any port from Indonesia, the coal is dry. Whenever there is a small rain, they stop discharging. But when it is selling from discharge port load port to discharge port, coal is a combustive item. If the captain or the vessel or the crew of the vessel see some smoke or fire, or they apprehend this kind of thing, they'll pour some water to douse the fire. And this becomes an issue. What we did a year back, we sealed the hatches, couriered the keys to the buyer in Bangladesh, only to convince them and give them comfort that their coal will come dry. 80-90% of coal came dry. But sometimes it happens and we have to manage, we can't help it. Next is, this is moisture. Next is, every port is really very congested of late. Everybody looks for FHEX, F Friday, Saturday, holiday, excluded even if used. It costs money. Vessel is like a taxi. It's standing here for me, it will charge. Whatever terms you want, it can be given to you. But it has a cost. I'll request my audience to introspect on this issue, please. Third is sizes. Whenever brickfield owners are putting coal into their boiler, they crush it. They crush it, then give it to the boiler. Then why buy only boulders? And there are chances of Indonesia, few years back, was famous for this blending. Before huge imports in 2014, piecemeal imports were there from Australia, from Indonesia to Bangladesh. Few buyers from Mogla had bought few vessels from Indonesia. They again requested, they again indented for big size coal. And what the small time traders at Indonesia did was, they blended coal of different gars and different sizes and shipped it to Bangladesh. When the vessel arrived, they were in for a shock. But this is not, I mean, good mines in Indonesia, 2-3 years back, Indonesia had closed a lot of small mines only to control the quality of the coal in Indonesia. Their brand image was going down the drain because of this. It was one of the reasons they closed few mines of theirs. At the moment, only big mines or government mines are there. Usually they don't blend. My last request to government is, suppose a coal is shipped at $60 or $70. The vessel comes at Chidgaon. If it is a 50,000 ton ship, it discharges at Kutubdia. The cost is $2.5 to $2.75 per ton extra at Kutubdia. It is a cost. Then it comes to outer. Okay, but lighters are not there. What do we do with this? The vessels are stranded here for 21, 25, 30 days. Some vessels have stayed here for more than a month, 45 days. It has a cost. In fact, and the cost is paid by ordinary taxpayers. Therefore, my request to government along with my audience is, do something about it. The port, if port is not, the congestion of port is not taken care of, we are in for a shock in due course. One, hundreds of projects are coming in Bangladesh. Padda Bridge is one, Rupur nuclear plant is two. Not many projects are coming. As Mr. Amin said, 6, 7, 8 power plants are coming. They need a lot of logistic support. Where do we discharge all these things? The draft at Chidgaon is 7.58 meters. At outer I'm talking about. Forget JT. You go to Mogla, the draft is again 7.5%. You can't ship a vessel of more than 25, 30,000, 20, 24, 25,000 at Mogla. And if your freight cost is high, you are not competitive in market. Therefore, my request to my audience that let us have a forum where we can discuss all these problems of ours, and let us talk to government to help us out in order to help themselves out. Congestion of port is a big issue now. And if this is the problem at this juncture, what will happen when big machineries start coming to Chidgaon and Mogla port? Thank you very much. But please do introspect and let us make a forum where we can unite and do something about it. Thank you very much. Good evening.